In this video, I'll try to show us how to make some simple 2D page UI and some simple transitions. So this could be useful in situations where you just want to create an app, not necessarily a game, maybe an app that is heavy on UI, or sometimes even a game. There are some maybe portions of the game where you have so many say controls on the UI page where you want the pages to be different. So you want some controls for controlling some part of the settings on one page and then some part of the other settings on another page. You want to break it down. So just to show us what we're going to do today, let me just start this. So if we run, I'll just show you what I've already put together, and then we'll start from a completely new project. So this is it. You can see you have page one. Actually, okay, yeah, this page one. Though I would have preferred to show you how that comes in. So sorry, just give me a second. I didn't notice this changed. Let me just go here and make sure it is not on the page when we start. So I'm going to put -1. Don't worry, I'll show you how I set everything up. So left is -1, right is 0. Okay, so scene save, scene. Okay, so let me go ahead and run it again. Okay, I don't know why it's doing that. It seems like it's setting itself back. Not sure why it's supposed to be here. Just give me a second, please. Okay, so I was able to sort it out. Just to show you what was tripping me up. I had to go to the animation player of that page and set it to reset. That's this reset, and then I had to come back and set it up as, I don't know why it keeps going back. You can see it went back again. Oh, okay, because I think I didn't set that animation correctly, but doesn't matter. I'll just do that now. I'll put this on -1, and it means every time I'm going to start it, it's going to revert back, but it's fine. I'll just leave it now. I just want to show you what we're trying to achieve in this video. So this is how it should start. You can see there are no pages. Let me just shrink this a bit. So there are no pages whatsoever. This is a portrait. Okay, I'm assuming it's going to be developed, the app is going to be developed for a phone, so that's why it's in the portrait mode. This is a button. You can see this just a blank page with the app title up there. If you click on this button, it slides in. You can see it toggles in those buttons from underneath, and then these buttons control the pages. This comes in and you can bring this in also. Okay, so I'll show you how to do something. Of course, this is very crude, but this is like the foundation for creating some very good, because I've done this before in Unity. I've used it to create apps, maybe like 3 different apps, and what I realized is once you're done, you will find out that your UI, in fact your whole app, looks entirely different from the normal, like all other apps look similar in a way, because the reason is because they all use the same uh, controls. Most of the controls in Android Studio are very I don't know, it's very difficult to change. Some things remain the same, if you get what I mean. Like if you're going to change some of those controls, it means you have to sit down and rebuild your own controls. But when you build them using a game engine, you just get out of the box, you just get that difference. You stand out, kind of. Your app just looks different. It doesn't really mean your app looks better, but at least you kind of, it gives your user the impression that you went through, you took the time to make your app different from other apps. Anyway, enough of the introduction. We'll go ahead and start the tutorial. So I'm just going to close this project. Let's quit. Um, Going to start up Godot and create a new project. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have quit. I should have created a project. Okay, new project, and choose where I'm going to keep it. I'll just put it here, and let's put it in here. And okay, let's just create a new folder for it. Let's call it Godot tutorials, and in here we can create our project there. So I'm going to call the project page transitions. I don't know if Godot allows spaces. I'm still learning. Okay, so you have to bear with me. Page transitions, and then choose. Maybe I don't need git. Create and edit. So that creates the project from scratch. Then first thing we want to do when we create the project, before we do anything, we just set up the project settings. Like I told you, we want to build the app for probably an Android phone. So the first thing I would like is, I would like the, as I'm testing the application, I want to see it similar to what it would look like when it's on a phone. Okay, so I'm going to go to general, window, and then first of all, this is just a reference resolution, so it doesn't mean that the phone is going to have that resolution, but it's always good to put something that is similar to the resolution of the phone. And one resolution I remember is 1440 by, that's the width when the phone is in portrait mode, by 2960. I think this is the resolution for Samsung Galaxy S8 also. Yeah. So some of course, some of them have bigger aspect ratios, some have smaller, some have different resolutions. It doesn't matter. Just make sure, just give it a resolution close to the device you're going to use. It doesn't matter if it's exactly the same, because as you will see, Godot is going to try and scale the resolution so it matches whatever device you're on. So we come down to mode, this stretch mode, and change it to canvas items, and then I like keeping this to keep with. Okay, so anyway, if you're going to build this for a real application, I would suggest you choose expand, even though when you're running it on your system, you're not going to see the effect you want, but this is the correct setting if you're going to build it. The problem is I haven't had the opportunity to actually build it on a real device, because there were some issues I was running into when trying to build from Godot 4.1. Anyway, I'll still go back and check out, and maybe I'll do another tutorial just to make sure people don't get tripped up by all the things that tripped me up to while I was trying to learn how to build for an Android device. Okay, so like I said, we're going to put this on keep with, and then I think there's still one more setting we need to set here. Let me see. We'll set the resolution. We'll set this. Okay, I think that's it. So we're going to close, and then next we say usually you should start with a 2D scene, but okay, let's just go ahead and create a 2D scene, since it's just going to be a 2D UI. Okay, we're not going to make use of the 3D functionality. So first we're going to create, after creating our node 2D, we need to create on the node 2D, we add a child and we create a canvas item. Okay, there's a reason. Okay, before we create our canvas item, I think we should create our camera first. So we create a camera 2D, and then on the node 2D on the node 2D node again, we create this time a uh, canvas layer. Okay, that's it, this one. There's a reason why we want to create this canvas layer. Anyway, maybe I should show you what happens if you don't create the canvas layer, though it's not necessary for this particular video I'm showing you, but just so it doesn't come back to bite you later, let me show you what happens if you don't create that canvas 2D. So I'm just going to create control panel. Let's create a panel. There's a 2D panel. So this is a panel, this is a camera 2D. They are both children of node 2D. Now for this panel, if you remember, if like me, you're coming from Unity, there's a very easy way you set most of these things for properties of a panel. You just go to the inspector panel and change whatever you want to change, like the width, height, the theme. Yeah, probably they don't call it theme in Unity, but most of the settings, in fact just about any setting you want to set for this, it's usually in the inspector panel. But I realized for this there are some changes, there are some differences. Like for example, okay, even though the theme is here, yes, but you need to change, you need to come down to theme override style, and you need to create a panel, sorry, not a panel, you need to create a style for it so you can color it. But before we even do that, I think the first thing is the width and height, right? So before I forget, I said I was going to show you something, so let's just go ahead and set up the width and height of this particular control. So what we're going to do is we're going to say layout, we're going to choose inherited, yes. Anchor presets, we're going to choose custom. Okay, this is very important, make sure you choose custom. Then first thing, go into this anchor offsets. You'll find out that some of the values have been increased or bumped up. You need to make sure they are all 0. Okay, that's for the panel. Then next thing, you go back to anchor points, make this 0, make this 1. That's for the right. Left is 0, right is 1. Then top is 0, while bottom, sorry about that, bottom is 1. And this is supposed to give you the width and height. Why is it not showing? Okay, maybe our node 2D hasn't been set correctly. Sorry about that. I'm not sure where I missed it. Okay, maybe it's in the transform, the size. Okay, so we probably need to set the size, but that's a bit, I didn't think we had to do this. Okay, because I was using a canvas item, so I didn't have to set this. But for now, let's just go ahead and do this. I'm going to say 1440. Sorry. Oh yeah, I see. I think I know what's. Oh, we're right in the middle. This is supposed to be the what the camera is seeing. Oh, okay, this is what the camera is seeing, and this is the size of our panel. Sorry, not the size of the panel, but the size of the world, the node 2D. Okay, it's supposed to, just give me a second. Okay, after checking, I found what the problem was. I think is this camera 2D. We need to, after creating the camera, you need to make sure it is starting from the top left and not in the center. As you can see, if you go to the camera settings and you come to inspector, under anchor mode, you'll see that it's showing drag center. So what we want is fixed top left, and that sets the camera frustum to show exactly our world. So after that, we go on to the panel and make sure, like I said, we set the let me see. Okay, before we touch the transform size is supposed to be 21440 by 1440 by. Okay, I think there is something I forgot to set in. Not that I didn't set, I set it, but I think it was already set, so we didn't get to touch it. Under window, aha, orientation. I didn't tell you this. You're supposed to change it to, oh, it's still on landscape even. So we need to change it to portrait. Okay. So just let's just go back. Sorry, this tutorial is turning into a very rough tutorial, but just bear with me because I'm also still learning the Godot environment, so you have to bear with me. So you go to project settings, and then come down to this handheld. Under orientation, you need to change it to portrait. Okay, and that's it. So now if we go to our panel, the size is still showing 0, so let's just set it manually and see what happens. 1440 by 2960. That's the size of our world. So you can see the panel is now showing. So after that, we go down to okay, yes, the theme. We go down to theme. Under theme overrides, we change the style. We have to create one. We say a new style box flat, and then this is what I'm saying. So for Unity, you just like the control is just right there. Once you come to the inspector, you'll see for a panel there's a little there's a property there for the color if you want to change the color. But for Godot, you have to first create this style box. Okay, style box flat, and then after creating it, you have to click on this style box control. Okay, and then now you get to see where you choose your color for the panel. Okay, so I just found out that was a bit kind of clunky. I don't know, it's still fine. I'm not complaining. It's just that it's just extra work, like if you're going to change the color, okay, compared to Unity. So we go ahead and choose green color or whatever color. So I'm sure once you come down here, once you get this control, you can set whatever you want to set, whatever color you like. After setting your color, you click out, and now we have that set as the color. Okay, so I said I wanted to show you if you don't create that canvas layer, what happens. Now imagine if we move this camera. Obviously we're not going to be moving the camera for this particular project, but just for learning sake, what happens in case you move it. So where's the move? There's the move button. Okay, so let's say we move the camera. Now if you run your application, okay, did we even save a scene? Okay, we didn't create a scene, so let's just call this scene 1 and save. So when we run our scene, when we run our project, you can see what's happening. It's not the camera is actually shifting away, and let me just minimize this. So this is our viewport for the phone. Okay, this is like our phone device screen, and you can see because we move the camera. If we move the camera back, let me just move the camera back, and you run your app, you'll see that this is the correct thing, right? But because we didn't set that canvas panel, whenever you move the camera, in fact, I think we can demonstrate this by moving it while we're running. Yeah, you can see that it changes. So because of that, we need to just to be on the safe side, we need to create a canvas layer. We go to Node 2D, add child, and choose canvas layer, create, and now the canvas layer is a child of Node 2D. Now you do not make the camera a child of canvas layer. Okay, so it's only the panel you're going to make the child of canvas layer. So camera 2D is directly the child of the 2D. So after that, okay, what am I seeing now? Oh, okay, yes. By setting this as a child of canvas layer, we get some changes immediately. So first of all, we need to make sure our canvas layer has the correct settings. Okay, all right, I think that's fine. So we go back to our panel and go to anchor, check anchor offsets. You can see that's where we're having the issues. So make sure this is zeroed out, this is zeroed out. And I think with that, we're fine now. Okay, so we're back to okay. So whenever you change the parent of your controls in 2D UI in Godot, always make sure, especially when you're using the custom layout, that's this one. Where is it? This anchor presets, especially when you're using the custom. The reason I'm using a custom setting is because I like working with percentages. That's for my screen measurements. I always like using percentages. The advantage of using percentages is that you get you kind of get a simple calculation that works roughly the same or correctly across all different device screen sizes. So irrespective of the size, or that's the resolution and aspect ratio of the screen of your device, if you're using a percentage setting, it's going to look similar on every device. Okay, that's why I prefer using the custom, that's the anchor presets custom setting. It gives you that percentage. Okay, so after that, we've created a panel. The next, okay, so this is going to be like our screen, like we saw, and then next we need to create the title panel. Okay, so under panel we do add child, and we create another panel. This is going to be our title panel. Not necessarily a panel, actually. Let's create a label. So we create a label. No, not a label, sorry, it should be a panel first. The label will be the panel. So we create another panel which is inside panel. I think you'll see what I mean immediately when we start touching the controls of this panel that is going to create our title panel. Let's just go ahead and change this name to title panel. Okay, so after we do that, we go to the layouts again, or before we even go to the layout, let's make sure the color of, let's start with the layout, sorry. So go to the layout mode, change it to anchors, and then anchor presets, change it to custom. Did we do this for our first panel? Did we change layout presets to anchor? Yeah, I think we did. Oh, okay. We don't, once you set it to custom, you don't even need to change the layout mode. So let's go back. Oh, for some controls, okay, maybe because that was, no. Okay, because this is directly a child of the canvas layer. That's why you don't get to change this layout mode. Okay, but for subsequent controls, you can see you have the option to select whether you want it position or anchor. So we're going to choose anchors. Okay, and then make sure the layout preset is set as custom. Then, like I said, we go to this offset, make sure this is zeroed out, and then we go to anchor points, and I'll show you what I mean by I prefer percentages. So for this left, that's from where it's going to start. The title panel is going to start. We're going to say 0, and for right is going to be 1. 1 means 100%. Okay, so you can see what I mean by the percentages. So 0 is 0%, 1 is 100%. If you want something, you want to measure directly to the center of the screen, you just use zero point 0.5, which is 50%. Okay, 0.5. You want 20%, you do 0.2. Okay, that's I just feel that is much easier to work with than working with directly with pixels. Because if you're working with pixels, suppose we set 500 pixels, okay, and it stops somewhere here on a particular device. If you're running it on another device that's maybe 2000 pixels on the width, what you're going to get is a completely different percentage compared to the other device. So it's not going to look the same. Okay. People that have worked on UI before will know what I'm talking about. It's always easier to work with percentages. Okay. So let's go ahead. Okay, we're not done yet. We go to the anchor points. For the top, we say it starts from 0, and then for the bottom is going to be 0.1. That's 10%. So we're just taking 10% of the screen, and we're using that as the title panel. So we can see that, and then maybe we might want to change the color. We go to theme overrides, styles, and we can do another Starbucks flat and click that, and we can change the color to some other color, maybe purplish or yellowish. Yeah, that's ugly. Okay, I'll leave it like that. So that's our title panel, and then inside our title panel we're going to create our label that's going to hold the title of the app. Or so you create a label. Remember, whatever control you create, you have to make sure the sizing and everything is correct. So we're going to say layout mode, anchors, and then the presets, we're going to set it to custom, and then anchors offsets, make sure you zero out these, and then go to anchor points. So for the label, we probably don't want it directly here, or maybe we can leave it at 100%. That's the full width of the title panel, and then we go ahead and center the text that is written on it. So let's say left is 0, top is 0, right is 1, bottom is 1. That's the full 100% of the title panel. So these percentages are always percentage of the direct parent of that particular control. So you can see for this title panel, when we say we want only 10% on the y-axis, we're talking about 10% of the y-axis of or of the height of this parent panel. Okay, so for the label, we're saying 100% on the width and on the height. That's 100% of its parent, which is its title panel. Then we'll come back to the label, go to text. That's the first thing we're going to enter. We're going to say app name. So that is what will be displayed on the text. As you can see, you can't probably see anything, but it's there. The reason why you can't see it is because it's very small. You can see it up there. So we need to change the text sizing and then the setting, that's the positioning of the text. For that, we're going to say horizontal align center, vertical align center. You can see it's now in the center. The next thing now is the size of the text. I'm going to, let me just increase this. I can see this tutorial is going to be quite long. I might have to break it down into 2 videos or maybe even more. So maybe we'll use the first video to finish setting up the controls, and then the second video to show you how to probably set up the animation, and then probably the final video to show you how to set everything up with code. So after that, like I said, we're going to change the sizing. Let me see if I can find that. It's going to be a property here. Okay, it should be under style, exactly. So we go to theme overrides again, we go to fonts and font size, and we change this from 1 pixel to, let's say, 100 pixels, and you can see that's done. And that's it. Okay, in case you want to change the the color of the font, you can always come to the same theme overrides. You go to fonts, is it? Yeah, fonts, and click this and choose new font file and click on that, and where's it? I can't okay, it's probably not here, so let's just go ahead and clear that. I think it should be under color then. So you choose colors, and oh, okay, it's under colors. So you choose font color. If you want to override the font color, you just tick that, and then you change this particular color. So you want it black, you choose black. You want green, you choose green. Okay, so I'm just going to set it back to the default font color, which is white. Okay, all right, so that's it for the title panel. And next thing we want to create is the pages. Okay, we're going to have a page, and then like you saw, we're going to have a footer panel. Okay, so we're going to create two pages, one on the left hand side, the other page on the right hand side. So the pages are going to be parents of panel. Okay, so we're going to right click on the panel, add child node. We're going to call this page one. Page one, maybe we call it page one panel. Oh, sorry, we haven't even created it yet. So it's going to be a panel. We create that, and we change the name to page one panel. I like calling it page one panel, so we know this is a panel, even though we have a little icon on the side there telling us that it's a panel. I still prefer to have the name there. Okay, so we have page one panel. So what we'll do, since the two pages are going to be similar, we're going to create the first page fully first, then we duplicate that, and then change some of the settings to create the second page. Okay, so for the page one panel, first thing, like I said, is going to be here. It's going to be positioned here on the left hand side. So we go to layout, we set the layout mode to anchors, presets, don't forget, this is going to be custom. We always remember to come here and zero out the presets and the offsets, and then under anchor points, so it's going to start from 10%. That's going to start, the top is going to start from 10% of the width. So we're going to say top is going to start from 0.1, and then it's going to end at 0.9, because we don't want it to fully cover the whole screen. Okay, we're going to leave 10% for the footer. So bottom is going to be 0.9. Okay, and then the left is going to be 0, right is going to be full 100%. Okay, so that's our page. So we need it to be on the left. Oh, okay, that's a mistake. The left is going to be -1. Remember, I said it's supposed to be on this side. Okay, so it's going to be -1, and then the right is going to start from 0. Okay, so when you run your application, you're not, by default, you're not going to see that page because it's outside the screen. Okay, so after that, we're not done yet. We probably want to change the color of the, so go to theme overrides again, styles, we choose that new style box flat, change, click on that color. We probably want, let me choose this, let's have it somewhere around greenish. We don't want it very close to this color anyway, so we can tell. Okay, that's too close. Okay, let's make it yellowish. Increase, bump up the saturation and the brightness. Okay, so I think even though it looks a bit, I don't want to touch the transparency, because we want, when a page is sitting on the screen, you will not be able to see what is underneath it. That's why I'm not touching the transparency. But by default, if you want to create a transparent page, you can always use this alpha to change the transparency. Okay, enough of that tweaking. That's our page one panel. And then we're going to, for the page one, we're going to create a text right in the middle here that says this is page one, so that we know that's page one. So we're going to add child node. Another is going to be a label actually. So let's create a label, and we set the settings of the label to be full 100% of the page. That's under layout. We're going to say layout mode anchors, choose custom, and then anchor points from 0 0 1 1 1 1, and then remember we're going to set the we're going to change the color for this particular text. So we're going to change the colors. We're going to leave it as black. Okay, and then we scroll back up. For the text, it's going to say page one, and then we need to remember we need to set it in the middle of the page. So the settings for that is somewhere here. So center, horizontal alignment, and vertical alignment, center, and then finally the size of the text is under theme overrides. You choose fonts, font sizes, and we take that and change it to let's say 60 pixels. Okay, 60 is quite small. Let's make that 80. Okay, 80 is fine. So that's what that looks like. I'm seeing like this is cutting into, I don't know why we have that. Oh, okay, maybe because I didn't zero out the presets, the offsets. Yes, we didn't. So we have to zero those out. Okay, so now we have our first page. Next thing we want to do is we want to duplicate this page, so it we create our second page. But before we do that, there are still some things. Okay, I said the for the animation is going to be in another video. So for that, okay, let's leave it like this, because we're supposed to add an animation player to it, but because that is part of the animation video, I'll just leave this for now like this. Okay, so we're just going to duplicate this. We right click and choose duplicate, and then this is page one, page two panel, and then we need to change this. First, the label, we need to call it page 2, and then the positioning, we go to layout. Remember, every other thing is correct. The only thing that's not correct is this. It's going to start from 1, and then that's on this side, and then the right should be 2. Okay, so it's going to start from here, and so this is our setup. We have page 1, page 2, we have our app title, and this is our, though when we run the application, this is the only thing you will see. All these things are outside the screen, so you can't see them. So finally we're going to create a footer. So you right click on the panel, add child, another label, and then we need to sorry, not a label, a panel. So we delete that, right click the panel, add child, call it panel. We go to layout and change this to anchors, change this to custom, and then anchor offsets, make sure you take those out, and then anchor points, you set this to this is going to be start from, that's the left is going to start from 0, the right is going to end at 1. That's the full width, but for the height is going to start from 0.8, is it 0.9, sorry, 0.9, that's the top. Will start from 0.9, that's 90%, and it will end at 1, that's 100%. So this is our footer. So Let's change the color. We go to, so it looks different. We go to theme overrides, styles, panel. We create a new style box flat. We click on that to change the color, and let's give it a different color this time. Okay, that looks ugly, but you get the idea. Just want something different. Panel, we're now going to right click that. We're going to have two buttons. Okay, we'll have one button here and another button here. By the way, I'll take the time to show you how to set up though I think there's already a tutorial by, is it Godot? Yes, I think I create I put the link to his channel in my previous video, the one that shows how to set up C# on Godot. On Godot. In that video, you'll see a link to a tutorial, to a 2D tutorial that already shows what I'm going to do, how to do what I'm going to do now. So I think it's probably I should just go ahead and do it and not waste my time. So if you want to see how that is done, just go back and look at that tutorial. So what we need is we need two buttons. One is going to be here, then a space, then a second button there. So what we're going to do is I'm going to say create a button. We click that. So that's our first button. I'm going to go to before we do that, I think we're going to need can't even remember the name of the control. It's the horizontal, no, okay, H box container, that's it. So we need a H box container. The button is going to be a child of the H box container. And then for the setting of the H box container, we're just going to say it's going to be 100% anchors. I'm not wasting my time to explain what I'm doing here because it's part of Godot's tutorial. That's where I learned how to do it. So you can either follow me as I do it, but you might not understand. Just go directly to his channel and you'll see how he did that. So there's going to be 1 and 1, and then our button is going to have where's the setting for layout? Okay, okay, I can't touch this. Container sizing, okay, it's going to be now, instead of under layout, instead of touching this, it's now going to be our controls. The setting is now going to be here, container sizing. We're going to say expand. The ratio is going to be 1, and that's it. So that's our button. Also, we need to change the color of our button. So we go to theme, we choose, oh sorry, not theme, we choose theme overrides, colors. No, 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 not that. Okay, so it has to be here then. New theme. Nope, that's not what I want. I'm not sure this is what I want. Let's just clear that. I don't want to create a new theme. I just want to override the color for the button. Okay, let's check color. Is there a default color, font color, icon? Are we on a button? Yes, we are on a button. I'm just trying to see if I can. Okay, let's just leave that for now. I don't want to waste too much time here. I wanted to change the color of the button, but maybe I might have to create a theme, and I don't want to go through that now. So I'll leave the button color like that, and then on the button text, we're just going to say page 1. So this is the button that controls page 1, and then I'm going to change some of the text. So we're going to go to theme overrides, fonts, font sizes, sorry, we're going to say this is 80. So that's page one. Then we're going to create a control. This is to create a space between this and between this button and the next button. So we have a control. We go to layout. We choose container sizing. We're also going to choose expand, and the ratio is also going to be 1. And then I think that's it. And then we create another another button again. That's our second button. So the reason we're adding the control is because we want them all to be evenly sized. That's both this button and the next button, and we want a space in between them. Okay, that's why we added that control. So we go to this. Have I created the second button? Yes, I have. We're going to go to layout, container sizing, and we're going to say expand. So that's our second button, and then we're going to create the text. We're going to say page 2. Okay, and finally the sizing of that, if we go down to theme overrides, font sizes, and we change that to 80. So I think that's it for our scene. Just to make sure everything is correct, we hit on test run, we play and test run it. So this is what it looks like for now. So this is our page. As you can see, like I told you, you cannot see the 2 pages. Okay, they are not yet into the screen. And there's a button, you can click this button. There's another button, you can click this button. Okay, there was a third button in between here. Oh, okay. So sorry, we're just going to change some of this. So this is the footer. Let me just change that. Call it footer panel. So this is supposed to be on left is going to be -1, and right is going to be 0, because it's also going to start off screen. Okay, it's going to start off screen. There's going to be a button here that if we click, it slides this in. So we're going to create another button on, it's going to be directly on this no, not on the title panel, on the, okay, maybe we should put it on the title panel. Eh? No, not really. Let's just put it where we put it in the demo. So we're going to create another button. Sorry, this tutorial has gone way too long, but I'm just about to finish now. So the button is going to start from, we go to layout. Remember, we're not using a container now, so we're going to use our normal way of sizing. Make sure you turn off these offsets, and then the button is going to start from 0.85. It will start from, okay, 0, right will be 1, and then top will be 0.85. The reason I'm setting it to start from there is because I want it to be visible even when this is slide in. Okay, that's why I want it from there. So 0.85 to bottom, we can put it to 1 fully, or we can put it to 0.95 as we did with in the demo. When I ran the demo, it was actually there. So that is our button. The text we're going to say slide in footer, and then we set the sizing for the text. So we go to theme overrides, styles, sorry, font sizes, and we change it to 80. Okay, so that's our button. We can save our scene now. If we run this now, so we have that set up. So we have a button here, and obviously we have not yet set up the animations and the transitions. Okay, so the idea is if you click this, this is going to slide in, and then you'll be able to click page one or page two to slide in page one and slide in page two. So I'll stop here in this video, and then in the next video we'll see the tutorial on how to set up the animations.